Hi, Kevin here. Nice to see you again. Well, it's really hot in my kitchen this morning because I am in the midst of drying parsley that I harvested from the garden. And I'm drying it in the conventional oven over here. I tried drying parsley in the microwave last fall, and although it worked out very well, I actually like the conventional oven approach even better. So let me go fetch some more parsley and I'll walk you through the whole how-to. Okay, be right back. All right, here's the parsley. And this is flat-leaved or Italian parsley. It has a bit more flavor and perfume than the curly-leaved parsley. Now, there is a bit of morning dew on this parsley, so I'm going to transfer it to a terry cloth towel over here. Ditch the basket, and then just roll it up for a moment, give it a squeeze, just to get any excess moisture out. And I'm not going to rinse or certainly not wash the parsley because, again, it is from my garden. I don't use any chemicals out there, and nobody coughs on the parsley. Okay, and I am not going to be snipping every blessed leaf from the stems. The stems actually have as much flavor as the leaves do, so when I deal with parsley, I always include the stems. Maybe not the whole stem if it's really long, but stems like this, no problem. Okay, then, hold on, adjust the camera. Yeah, really, who can be bothered with snipping off every single leaf from the stems? I can't, that's for sure. Okay, now, here's something that I do differently from most other dehydrating or drying tutorials that I've seen online. I actually mince the parsley in my food processor. First I take a bunch, just break it in half, and this is just my cheap, lightweight Black & Decker food processor. It does a better job mincing parsley than my $250 Cuisinart does, if you can believe that. I'm going to do this in a couple of batches. So first, pulse a few times. Just to prime the pump, and then let it rip. Okay, I can see one leaf that did not become minced. Do this again. We're good. And now, what I have here is a double thickness of paper towels. I'm going to knock out the minced parsley onto the paper towels. And then, of course, a lot of it sticks to the sides of the bowl, so you want to use a spatula to release the parsley. And then I just pat it like this. I'm just giving it a head start on the drying process. And you can reuse the same paper towels over and over again. I hate to waste paper towels. Okay, now I need my baking sheet, and it is lined with parchment paper. Parchment paper is going to make it easy to give the leaves a toss and also to transfer them to a jar. So on goes the minced parsley. Spread it out. I'm going to go ahead and mince the remaining parsley over here, and then I will come right back. Okay, second batch. Scrape it out of the bowl. Pat, pat, pat. Maybe give it a little squeeze. And then on it goes to the parchment lined baking sheet. I'm going to spread it out. It doesn't have to be, precisely in a single layer, but you don't want to have big clumps of parsley. It dries faster the more you can spread it out. Okay. Now, my oven has preheated. Here, let me move this up so I can talk with you. My oven has preheated. Too close. Sorry about the hand. My oven has preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to pop this into the oven, and then I will immediately lower the temperature to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and I will set my timer for 20 minutes. And when that time is up, we'll come back and check the parsley. Okay, I'm just cleaning up my workstation here. I wanted to tell you that drying parsley is so not an exact science. The drying time depends on how much moisture is in the parsley initially and how thickly you've spread it or how thinly you've spread it. And what else? I can't remember my other thought now. Oh yes, so you do have to experiment when you're drying it. Now the first batch I did this morning, I had in the oven for exactly 20 minutes. Then I brought it out, spread it around, gave it a toss, put it back in for 15 minutes. It came out perfectly dry. Let me show you. Okay, here it is. Zoom in. Yeah, I left it out because I wanted it to cool off. This is definitely dry, and it has a beautiful green color. When I dried parsley in the microwave, the microwave is too hot. So it cooked out the color right away. So instead of this beautiful green, I had, just a lovely light green or even gray color. And it was good, but this is so much better, and it smells more. It has a more pronounced parsley aroma than the microwaved parsley did. Okay, we'll be back in a flash. All right, this parsley was in the oven for exactly 20 minutes. So I can already tell it's not thoroughly dry because when I move the paper around, the parsley doesn't budge. So what you do is just give it a toss. Try to bring whatever is on the bottom up to the top and spread it out again. I'm going to do that with my fingers. Yeah, this is going to take longer than the first batch I did because this batch contains a lot more parsley. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the oven for 20 minutes and I'll see you then. All right, we are back, I gave the parsley an additional 20 minutes in the oven. As you can see, it's really starting to dry now. I mean, it's moving around on the parchment paper. Let me have a feel. No, it's not quite dry yet. So, one more little toss. Spread. And back in the oven, I'm going to do 15 minutes this time, and then we'll report back. All right, this second batch of parsley was in the oven for 1 hour total. So I did 3 20-minute bursts in the oven, or 3 20-minute segments in the oven, we should probably say. And I can tell that it's really dry. Let me move you in a little closer. Because first it feels dry, and then if you crush the leaves, they just crumble into powder. So I'm going to let this cool to room temperature, and then I'm going to come back because I want to talk with you. Nice view of my cabinet there. I want to talk with you about one final optional step before storing the parsley in a jar. Okay, I think this is the final clip of this video. I do have another tray of parsley in the oven, but I think you have the gist of how to dry parsley in the oven already. So I'm going to put this in my jar over here. Yeah, I'm just going to keep harvesting and drying the parsley until I have, well, pretty much a full jar. So what do I have here so far? I have about 2 cups of parsley. That's probably enough, in all honesty, to last me for the entire year, because with dried parsley, you don't measure it in cups, you measure it in teaspoons. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Now, here's one optional thing you can do when you're going to store dried herbs. You can put a food grade silica gel in the jar. Now, I bought a package of food grade silica gel. I thought they would be smaller than this. They're pretty large. But what silica gel does is it absorbs moisture. So if you're at all nervous about storing dried herbs from your garden, if you're not positive that they're completely dry, throw the packet of silica gel into the jar. And then put the lid on. And you're done. Well, I hope this video was helpful to you in some small measure. If you have parsley in your garden, at least now you have the gist of how to dry it in the oven. And if you have leftover parsley from the supermarket, you can do the same thing. It's very convenient to have. I will post a link to the food grade silica gel in the description box below. Okay, and if you have any questions, please post a comment. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.